Yeah, I'm not at that level. If only I could calculate like that. Backgammon is one of those games that's easy to learn but hard to master, and it's for that reason that it's such a compelling game. The truth is, though, that like most things, it takes study and discipline to get better. If you're anything like me, you want to get better. There's only so many times you can take the royal beating you receive from your wife without questioning, why am I so bad at this? And although there's many ways to improve, like online videos, taking lessons, courses, or Extreme Gammon, today we're talking about proverbs. I've always considered myself somewhat of a bookworm, so whenever I want to learn something new, I usually turn to books first and see what's out there on the topic. So I figured I'd apply that to backgammon as well and hop in the car and see what's out there. But as it turns out, that unlike cooking, finances, or even chess, the choices at your local brick and mortar are pretty slim.
Good morning, Discount Bookstore.
Hi, do you have any books on backgammon?
What?
On backgammon, like the game?
It doesn't look like we have that in our store. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. Even the library didn't have anything for me, so I knew this was serious. It was time to bring out the big guns, aka my phone. I know, why didn't I just start there? I'm always looking for excuses to go to the bookstore. Don't judge me. I'm not. After doing a quick search, I did indeed find a lot of backgammon books out there. One of them being Backgammon by Paul McGrill, which is the behemoth of the backgammon world, or so I'm told. And there are a lot of other books out there, and many of them I want to dive into and read, but one in particular really interested me. And that's Opening Concepts by Michihito Kageyama and Roland Herrera. And I'm sure I totally ruined your names. I apologize for that. But anyways, I'm not a huge math guy, and it's for that reason that Opening Concepts really interested me. And it uses what they call proverbs, and that is just phenomenal for me because it's something I can memorize. And I realize you can memorize different math and percentages and equations as well, but just something about Opening Concepts was really intriguing. And after reading a little bit of a snippet online, I was hooked, so I ordered it. In a nutshell, Opening Concepts is exactly what it says on the cover. Certain ideas, or proverbs as they're called in the book, which I love by the way, that help you in many different situations. Do I make my bar point or the 5 point? There's a proverb for that. I have so many checkers on this point. What should I do with them? There's a proverb for that. Should I hit 2 checkers or just 1? You guessed it. There's a proverb for that, and it's called the double tiger. Pretty cool. There are 18 proverbs to be exact, all of which will help you take your game to the next level. Or, that's what I'm hoping at least. The path this book takes with the proverbs and patterns over the board makes this so much more memorable to me, especially as a beginner. I feel like applying these proverbs to the board will help me with the math side of things down the road, which is really good if you're not a math nerd like me.
Sir, the possibility of your blot successfully surviving is 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds. And the more I use these proverbs over the board, the more I'm enjoying them. It really just helps me slow down, scan the whole board, and really think, what proverb can I use in this situation? What's going to be the best? Is there multiple? And if so, which one's going to be better? And that's really cool because I really like backgammon already, but applying these proverbs to it makes me like the game that much more, which is really neat. Okay, well, I could unstack the mountain here. That'd be good because then I'd have 2 checkers to hopefully build an outer point next turn. Well, there's the double tiger play, but it's a weak double tiger, so I don't think I want to do that. Oh, there's the hit and split. That's what I'll do. Yep, hit and split.
What are you talking about?
What? If you can't tell by now, I'm a huge fan of this book, and I'm in no way against percentages or calculating any of that over the board or pip counting or dice combinations or cube equity or anything like that. Basically any of the stuff that makes you really good at this game, and this book isn't against any of that either. But what the book does do is break things down in a way that's really obtainable for a beginner, especially for me. It just really connected with me really well, and I am super glad that I bought it and that I read it. And there's 2 more books in this series. There's Endgame Techniques and Backchecker Strategy, one of which I have right here, and I will probably be reading this after the video. But all I have to say to Michi and Roland is thank you so much, and keep them coming.